Ladies and gentlemen, what a historic weekend it has been for fighting in general. We had PFL on Friday, we had UFC last night, we had BKFC last night, and we have my ongoing fight with unemployment and abject poverty. Some might say that I've consistently lost 10-8 rounds to both things, but my excuse is that I just don't know how to start. I just don't have the energy, you know. But the one thing that always pulls me out of my funk is knowing that I'm coming here every Sunday to the Fecaverse to broadcast to literally many people who want to know what we have to say, who want the inside scoop from the Fecaverse. They want to know what to think about the fights that they watch themselves. And we are going to tell you what to think. And if you disagree with us, then we're just going to hurl political insults at you. We're just going to try and guess if you're left or right wing and then just shout a bunch of shit at you. Because that's what we do. Now, we wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for the man who created this show, a man who's a true visionary. Okay? Now, he is a man, half bird, half man, half MMA entity, and he goes by the name of Simon Feck. Now, I'd like to bring him in right now. Simon, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, champ?
Doing fantastic, man. Doing fantastic. Ready to get a fucking great show started. Now, we we are in a very dynamic environment. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a whole show planned today, and now it looks like we're going to have to adjust. But you know what? For professionals like yourself and me, I don't think that's too much of a challenge.
Oh no. I mean, with our professionalism, we
Hmm.
we can we can put this show together like nobody else's business. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
could do.
people are already asking us if we're going to be doing a Halloween show. They're way ahead of the game. They're asking
Oh,
us if we're going to do a Halloween show. I mean,
that's a.
but like truthfully, I don't feel like dressing up. For the Halloween show.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I get the impression that you would be able to not dress up for Halloween and it would be socially acceptable. But if you were to turn up at Thanksgiving, how are you generally received by your bird and her family?
Oh man, Thanksgiving is a tough holiday. I mean,
No.
seeing one of my fellow birds laying on the table with its legs
Yeah,
spread open,
yeah,
and somebody's already been up that cavity.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. It's
It,
tough.
it, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
this is why turkeys should have jock straps, but they don't, you know? It's
yeah, but turkeys, they're not bald.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, let's get into that because we both know what we're going to talk about. First thing, one of the most impressive things that we saw in the history of MMA, Joe Pyfer coming from one round down to beat Abus Magomedov. Now, do you think that it was purely down to the jockstrap, or do you think that the shaved head also factored into it?
Well, I mean, we were going to leave that up to our correspondent,
Hmm.
No Chill MMA. He's in Philly right
Oh,
now doing research, ladies and gentlemen.
and we saved his life. And I mean, the positive effect we are having on society is probably it's immeasurable. I would say. Um, some people might say I'm biased, but I think that with No Chill, he was ready to call it a day, man. He was like, I've had enough. I'm ready to go. And we brought him back, and now he's got a great life, and that's pretty much 100% thanks to yourself and me.
Well, I don't know, but his right here, his figurine. It's just
Oh, yeah.
flying off the shelves, ladies and
That
gentlemen.
is what.
Yeah,
Yes.
right here we got No Chill MMA. It's flying off the shelves
Yeah.
much, much faster than our new mask, the musical MMA mask.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's and I mean, that's a very flattering mask to make as well. And did you show that to Musical MMA when you were talking to him the other night?
Yeah, but I mean, it's in one ear and out the other, man. I mean,
Is it?
well, with me, you know what I'm saying? So, uh, well, we'll talk about musical maybe a little bit later. But
Okay.
getting back to No Chill MMA.
Mhm,
Besides people bringing up our Halloween show,
mhm,
and you brought up how difficult Thanksgiving is for me.
mhm.
We're also going to have awards at the end. And so far, it's a runaway, the special guest of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like hands down, like nobody else is in the competition. It's
Yeah.
No Chill MMA running
Yeah.
away with the special guest of the year.
Yeah, I mean they tried to cancel No Chill, and I understand why they tried to cancel him because he said many unacceptable things during his single appearance on this show. But he was a fantastic guest. We liked talking with him, and
Yeah, it's unacceptable to the
mhm,
pussies on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen.
mhm, mhm.
It's regular locker room talk, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right, and that's why we are transitioning. We're amassing an audience here. Okay, we're amassing an audience, and then one week we're going to be like we're on Rumble next week, and we're going to take all those people from YouTube to Rumble. It's going to be huge for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's massive. And having no chill on the show has put the Simon Feck show to like great heights. I mean, I can't even fly that high, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I can't even fly that high.
Uh, you can't even fly along the street now without someone saying to you, "Hey, aren't you Simon Feck?" And that's because No Chill came on the show and he
That's
helped
right.
our profile. He raised he brought out the best in both of us.
That's
Um,
right. I have to carry these no chill MMA
mhm,
figurines with me and hand them out like
yeah,
candy, or I
yeah,
won't be able to go anywhere. They're like, "Hey, Feck, where's the No Chill MMA figurine?"
mhm,
They're like, it's sold out everywhere.
yeah. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. I heard that you flew over an elementary school and started throwing no-chill MMA figurines down, and all the children just ran out of class and were like, "Yay!" because they knew that it was a great day to be alive on a planet
Yeah,
that has someone
I
like
mean,
no-chill MMA.
yeah, I think we're going to kind of move away from this, but it's very therapeutic, or whatever the stupid word is,
Mhm.
to go ahead and to have a no chill MMA figurine, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
yeah, yeah.
I
They're
mean,
like,
imagine what he's going through in Philly right now,
I know,
walking around
yeah,
in Kensington, and
yeah.
then everybody's coming up to him, and they're like, "Well, hey, I see you, no chill, but where's my figurine?"
Yeah, yeah, that's it. He's trying to reach out to people, say to them, hey, there are treatment facilities, there are options for you to get food and shelter. And they're like, fuck that. Where's my figurine? That's what's really going to make a difference to a lot of people. The boots on the ground people, okay? They might
I
not
mean,
keep up with what's going on in MMA, but they want their figurine. Sorry.
that's right. I mean, I mean, let's cut a promo right now, right? I
Mhm.
mean, we don't need a promo because they're flying off the shelves, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but, ladies and gentlemen, right here, this is the original figurine of No Chill MMA, ladies. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. This is No Chill right here, ladies and gentlemen. The figurine, the original one. If No Chill comes on again, let's say his next appearance on the Simon Feck show, we are going to award No Chill the original No Chill MMA figurine, ladies and gentlemen. That's right.
Wow. That's great. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you carve that yourself from lumps of plastic that you bought on the internet?
Yeah, but they don't let crows. I mean, we're not too good like that with our talons and everything.
Mm, mm,
But I don't want to tell you how it came about. You know.
okay, okay. But there was an inception and it was created, and now the dramatic impact that the No Chill MMA figurine has had on society is almost comparable to the effect that No Chill himself had, and it just speaks volumes to his not just his ability to move people and bring out the best in them, but the fact that people want his likeness is that he leaves a cognitive imprint. Uh, and if he was here right now, I'm sure he would make some reference to a bullet or something or someone being assassinated. But we don't need to talk about that. We just need to talk about the fact that No Chill is a great man and he's going to, continue to light up the world, not just with his presence and energy, but also with the takedown requests that your show will probably receive after he's been on it for more inappropriate things that he says. We've got Western in the chat. Western says Jama, and
That's right.
it's great to see Western back here again. Western is another person who I would say is one of the pillars of the Fecaverse. Um, Now, we're going to get into Alex Pereira. I don't know how I feel about that victory. He definitely won, but was it really a decisive victory?
No,
Nah. Again, I think you need to do the trilogy, Simon. That's what I think you need to do.
I mean it wasn't definite. You know,
No,
not in my opinion. I
no.
mean, we're talking about it's the same thing over and over again, ladies and gentlemen. Early stoppages, ladies and
Yep,
gentlemen.
yep.
I
Yeah,
mean, he wanted. Listen. He wanted his face beaten in a little bit more. He didn't want to give up
yeah,
right then.
yeah. I know. And then to have the opportunity to defend yourself stolen from you by the referee, and then for to look up and see Alex Pereira doing this emoji, it's going to leave a bitter taste in Ankalaev's mouth. And I'm just curious to see how he's going to come back from this and really regain the title that should still, in my opinion, be around his waist. It should at least be a no contest. And I also
Yeah,
think as well, I think that the crowd were on Alex Pereira's side, and I think that that's unfair. I don't think that's nice, and I think that that played to Alex Pereira's advantage. I think that the crowd should be quiet. Herb Dean should stop the fight and look. He should get the microphone and go, shh, shh, shh. Or both fighters should have earmuffs like you give to babies, and then they wouldn't be able to hear what the crowd are doing, whether it's good or bad. And they also wouldn't be able to hear their coaches. But I think that that's a small price to pay for a fair fight, Simon.
yeah. So I mean, No Chill put a report in. He's walking the streets in Kensington.
Mm-hmm.
He's out walking, all the residents, like 20 times their speed, right? But anyways, he's going up, he's talking to a lot of Kensingtons, and they're all saying that it's Alex should not have the belt, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. That's no chill. He sent me a message today as well. He's waking people up while they're sleeping on the streets, and he said, "I'm sorry to wake you up, but can I get your opinion on the fight last night?" And they're all saying it was an early stoppage. Western is in the chat saying Poatan hit Ankalaev with enough elbows, completely unanswered devastation. I'm not sure about that, Western. I would go back and watch the fight. It looked to me, it wasn't even a knockout. It was a technical knockout, which I'm not even sure that they should exist, okay? We don't
Well,
want some namby-pamby rule. We want out cold, not responsive. That's
see,
how you win a fight.
this has been the UFC's telltale, right? For years,
Mhm.
if you go and you steal the pay-per-view, they go ahead and they put a different link up. Now,
Yeah,
that's who they can tell who's stealing it or not. Maybe Western doesn't pay for it. I'm not saying he does or
yeah,
doesn't. He
yeah,
might not be paying for his.
yeah.
He got the link where it looked like Alex Pereira actually won.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Western, that's just AI, you know. He's saying that he's watched it twice back, but the thing is, you're watching the wrong stream. We'll go back to Hamzat Chimaev against Dricus du Plessis. There was wrong angles in that fight. You know, you had to look at the right footage to see who actually won the fight. And TDP won that fight. And we're still saying this, and no one is listening to us. I see that Western's back in the chat. He says, I would not have minded to see more damage. Well, you know what? I think that they dealt a comparable amount of damage to each other, Ankalaev and Pereira. I think that if you look at the significant strikes, you're going to see more or less equal damage. And yeah, it was an early stoppage. Um, We've got a new person in the chat. Western said he does pay for every pay per view. I'm not sure, Western. I'm not sure about that. I question your buying of pay per views, I have to say. And also, I don't understand why you're supposedly paying for pay per views, but you're not putting $100 in our super chats every week. That is what real fans do, okay? Now, we've got a new person in the comments. Vivek Sena, Chama wants Bones at the White House. Now, Vivek, you probably don't realize this yet, but UFC White House is probably not actually going to happen. It's been moved to Kensington in Philadelphia, and it's actually going to take place on someone's front lawn. And it's going to be a big event. There's going to be at least 150 people in the crowd. Um, Western sending screenshots of his bank transfers. Western, again, I'm just not sure that you watched the right fight. I think that to say that it was a dominant, unanswered performance, I don't see how you come to that conclusion. It was a very even. The significant strikes were the same, and if anything, I think Ankalaev won that fight by submission. I think Pereira tapped. Vivek saying, if Alex versus John happens, who you'll got? It's not. It's not going to happen, Vivek. Okay, the fight that people want to see at UFC Kensington is Chase Hooper versus Alexander Hernandez. That's the money fight.
Yeah,
Simon,
they tried getting John Jones on the
mhm,
Kensington card, but
yeah,
they're like they got a reputation, they got a clean city, and
yeah,
John Jones is
yeah,
known to participate in, like, say, some illegal activity,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Kensington just doesn't want John Jones on that
No,
card. The
no.
Kensington, yeah.
That's it. They want a family-friendly event, you know. No Chill is on the ground right now, and he's been talking with the people in Philadelphia, and they've been saying, we don't want John Jones. We want Chase Hooper versus Alexander Hernandez for the 155 title, because one of those two people by March next year will be the lightweight champion. Because I think Ilya Tapuria, I think he's just going to get bored. I think he's going to quit. You know?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Let's ask. I can't really read it. Vivek
Vivek
Dai.
Desenya,
Okay.
Adesanya, Vivek
Well,
Adesanya.
okay. Instead of getting our opinion, how about what's your opinion? Who's going to win that fight if it
Yeah,
was to happen? Because they're not going to allow John Jones in that
no,
nice, you know, the uppity neighborhood.
yeah. Let's wait and see, Vivek.
Yeah. Well, let's see how fast Vivek types, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, come on, Vivek.
But anyways, as we wait for Vivek's response here, ladies and gentlemen,
Mhm.
there, there's a certain idiot. YouTuber, well, ex-YouTuber, ladies and gentlemen. An ex-YouTuber, his name's Clown Show or Ark or Clown Show Live or something like that. So in fact, before the show here, I like to, listen to other people's podcasts or whatever. And the clown is saying that people are saying stuff about him. He says he's sick and tired of fat.
Well, I think that there's room for all kinds of MMA journalists. We are really the only MMA journalists who are not compromised by money because we don't make any money. So, the thing is, I think that people maybe don't like this show because we bring them the truth. We bring them unfiltered opinions. We bring them what they want to hear. We're not scared of Dana White or Sean Shelby, or Mick Maynard. We're scared of people like Joe Pyfer because the more we continually talk about Joe Pyfer's jockstrap, the more concerned we become that he's actually going to physically harm one of us. But we don't want that to happen. We talk about the jockstrap out of appreciation for the jockstrap. And we talk about Vaseline out of appreciation for the Vaseline too. So that's really all I've got to say about that. I'm not gonna badmouth the clown. He can do what he wants to do, and we'll continue to broadcast our show to people like Vivek, who types at about one character a minute, I think. Back to you,
Okay,
Simon.
so, we've been keeping this pretty clean. I just want to say about the clown. The clown, the Orker, the Clown Show Live, the guy that's over on Kick, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, he's a pussy. Okay, he's saying that people won't step to him. Okay, and he's saying that fact's getting to him. We don't even hardly talk about the idiot. Okay, he's saying that people don't really know who he is. They're attacking his character, and he's fed up with stuff. I mean, what a pussy! The Clown Show Live, listen to me, you're a big pussy. You heard it here from Simon Feck, 1 foot cock. Sorry about that.
It's all right. That's all right. Listen.
You know the best thing I said about what was going on there at UFC 320 is every once in a while you could see Laura Sanko, behind the announcers with her pretty glasses on and everything. Laura Sanko was looking hot there last night, ladies and gentlemen.
Laura Sanko is hot, and people forget that. People forget Laura Sanko is hot. We've got Western back in the comments. Clown wants to show Julie his closet. I have no idea what that means. Right. So there is oftentimes a third member of this show. But the problem with this third member is that he lives in a different time zone, in a different continent, in a country which could be considered a distant planet. And because of that, he's probably fast asleep right now. Now, Ash, if you're watching this, we just want to let you know that we're thinking of you. But personally, I hope you're having a bad dream right now because I wanted you to be on this show and you're not here. So I think it's a small price to pay to have a bad dream while we're doing this show. Simon, have you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah. So, anyways, now the Ash, right? Okay, so he is a what is it? He does impression. He's an impressionist. Okay.
Yes.
So the guy has never come on as himself. So his number one, we keep calling him Ash. Okay. So his name is not Ash. We don't know what to call the guy. So the very first impression he had was Ash. So we keep calling him that. He's been 28 different people on this show. Okay. Okay, so his name is not Ash. But anyways, let's just call him Ash, right? Okay. Ash is the producer of this show. The show goes on at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Eastern United States, right?
Mm.
It goes on at 10 a.m. Sunday mornings. He goes to bed at 9 o'clock. Wouldn't you love that? You have a job and you go to sleep an hour before, it's time to work.
Well, I know he has this show at the core of his heart. I know that. So he must have been really battling sleep and lost the battle to sleep. Um, and I'm sorry for that because we miss Ash, or whatever this person's name is. We've grown to like him very much. And maybe next time he comes on the show and he does some more impressions. Now, but my question to you is this. How do you think No Chill MMA's time in Kensington is going to come to an end? Do you think it's going to be, um, do you think there's going to be an incident, or do you think he's going to make it out unscathed?
Well, there's one thing with No Chill. Have you seen the guy? I mean, he's no twink, okay? No Chill MMA is he's like what's that? What are those two brothers that were in wrestling? The Michigan wrestling guys. I don't know, years ago. I don't know. He looks like a college wrestler. I,
Oh,
I
really?
don't think those zombies there are going to give him any kind of trouble. You know.
Okay.
And
Oh,
then plus, all he's got to do is start talking about assassinations, and those people be like,
yeah.
"Hey, my life is too valuable. I live here in beautiful Kensington, and I get all the free medication I need here, ladies and gentlemen. My life is good. You know." So those people, they don't want nothing to do with No Chill MMA, ladies and
No,
gentlemen, and neither does the Colonel, ladies and gentlemen.
no. I mean, I think that now that you say it like that, do you think that No Chill could suplex the average resident in Kensington?
Yeah, no chill could pick up the whole real estate of Kensington and slam it, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
No chill is a beast, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean, he's a beast, ladies and gentlemen.
he's undefeated on the streets and in podcasting. And we'll look forward to his next appearance on this show. And let's see, Western is back in the chat. No Chill will be seduced by a handsome drug addict. That's entirely possible as well. You know, it, it's definitely possible to be a drug addict and be handsome. I'm addicted to coffee. Some people say that's a drug, and I'm not handsome at all. But
I mean,
I still think I could seduce No Chill MMA if I really tried.
that's the lovable atmosphere we have here at the Simon Beck Show, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
our number one, our leader moderator with the wrench, goes ahead and says a nice warming thing about Don't Chill MMA. I
mhm,
mean, look
yeah,
at that. Listen, people, if you want someplace to work, with no pay and everything, and then
mhm,
sometimes you don't even have to show up. Okay,
yeah,
if you're looking for some place to work, ladies and gentlemen, it's right here at the Sign Effect Show. I mean, look at the love here from Weston to No
yeah,
Chill MMA, our number one correspondent, ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen.
yeah. And I mean, that's one of the things that really drew me into the show was the encouragement and the fact that we all believe in each other here in this show. There's no doubt among any of us that this time, in 6 months from now, we'll have hit our goal of 100,000 subscribers. We're very close to it. Simon, do you happen to have the number of um, subscribers we currently have and how far away we are from
Yeah,
100,000?
yeah. So we are. Listen here, ladies and gentlemen. The Simon Beck Show is just barely shy of 100,000 subs, ladies and gentlemen. You know, and then
Sure.
when we get that plaque, the push button YouTube plaque, and everybody displays it and everything. I don't think we're going to display it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to display Joe Pyfer's jockstrap from
Yeah.
UFC 320, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. It's already up for auction, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, he was wearing that last night when he fought Abus. which I think maybe helped him with his ground game.
Did you see the hip movement? The
I
hip
did.
movement of Joe
Yeah,
Pyfer. He was selling that jockstrap, ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen.
yeah. He knows how to move those hips. He knows how to sell his body and his desirability to the average MMA fan. I have to say that I couldn't turn away from it when I was watching him dance. It was like a Beyonce video, it was like a
Every
Beyonce video.
Yeah, that's right. Every Joe Pyfer jockstrap that goes up for auction, ladies and gentlemen,
Mhm.
we always got to deal with what's his name from Submission Radio, Dennis.
Dennis Shakuratov, yeah,
Well, hey, I mean, let's go by his nickname, Dennis Shakira.
Shakira, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He knows exactly what he's doing. He is manipulating the jockstrap market in
yeah,
order
absolutely.
to, yeah, and he's being paid to do that. He has a backer, I believe, because I know that he was also investing in socks, used UFC fighter socks, which they don't wear in the cage, but they wear in their day-to-day life. Someone like Kelvin Gastelum, his socks were some of the most desirable in mixed martial arts. Um, Western is saying what happened to Casper. Who's
Well,
Casper?
listen. Here's what happened to Casper, right? Everybody, he came on there and he said that he has a medical issue. That's not what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? The two of them started it together. And ever since it went popular, the submission radio, ever since it went popular, Dennis has tried to manipulate Casper out of the situation. So then Casper comes up. He did have a medical problem, but he said, I might as well dip out right now because of this. Because Dennis is not a nice guy after all, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to go back to Simon Beck, type it in. Simon Beck, Dennis Shakira from Submission Radio. Ain't no nice guy after all, ladies and gentlemen. That's right.
You go. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that Casper existed, and now I know that not only was he part of Submission Radio, but that Dennis Shakira manipulated him out of the situation.
Well,
And
I
it's
mean, in Casper's eyes, he was always part of the situation.
mhm.
But in Dennis's eyes, I don't. I beg to differ. That Dennis is a cutthroat, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Dennis Shapiro is a cutthroat, and he proved it. He proved that Casper gets sick, and he gets rid of Casper.
well, well, there you go. It's the way they do things at Submission Radio. Not here on the Fake Show. Um, Western is back in the chat saying Dennis is a gangster. He'll stand on your toes, and we can't allow that. So that is why we are investing in several pairs of used UFC socks so that no one can stand on our toes. But we need your help to do that. Now, Western, what we need you to do is stop giving money to these hocus pocus pay-per-view sites that you think are legitimate and start putting money into the super chat. $100 at a time is a good starting point, I would say. If you could invest up to $1,000 a week, that would really help us reach our goal of 100,000 subscribers
Yeah,
in 6 months. We're very
yeah, like
close.
1,000. 1,000. That's not really stretching it for you right there.
Nah,
A
nah.
thousand, right? But Dennis
Yeah.
Shakirtov. Here's one thing that's funny. Everybody thinks that Dennis is a good interviewer. Dennis gets his questions from AI, ladies and gentlemen. Look back at
Oh,
look at the champ and myself. All the interviews we've done with all these fighters. Go back in the history list right here on Simon Beck YouTube channel. Go back and watch all the videos, all the interviews we've done with fighters, ladies and gentlemen. We are the mecca of
yep.
MMA interviews, ladies and gentlemen.
We are. We are. We ask the questions that other people are afraid to ask. And when we were interviewing Corey Santiago, we asked him No Chill MMA versus Dennis Shakira.
I
That's
had
going to
I
be
had that written down from earlier, ladies and gentlemen.
no,
You can't see it right here in this feed right here or the other feed. But right here we got the No Chill, the figurine, and we got the Dennis Shakira over here with Dana White in the middle and a referee, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see it on the other video, ladies and gentlemen. But No Chill,
that's,
MMA, and Dennis Shakira from Submission Radio. I mean, it's not even going to be a fight, ladies and gentlemen.
no, it's going to be pure domination. The way that Western thinks that Alex Pereira beat Ankalaev is what No Chill MMA is going to do. It's going to be a real one-sided victory to show who the champ is of YouTube MMA. And I have to say, there was another fight last night with a guy called Corey Sandhurst, I think his name is.
Yeah, the guy that likes hallucinogenic drugs, ladies and gentlemen.
He likes hallucinogenic drugs. He was actually, I didn't realize this. I thought he looked familiar. He used to be on Dawson's Creek. Did you know that?
Yeah, because Dawson Creek, that's right. Later on, when their ratings started to go down, they moved Dawson's Creek to Kensington. And then Sandhagen got, addicted to hallucinogenic drugs, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
right. So was he mainly using LSD, or was he also into some of the more experimental research chemicals out there, the 2CBs and things like that? Was
Well,
that
you tell me, champ, look at that performance. Who do you think was in the gym and who do you think was in a cave doing drugs, ladies and gentlemen? I mean,
yeah,
I mean, right there, that's a message to the children where we dropped all the no chill MMA figurines. By the way, those of you just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, this is flying off the shelves, ladies and gentlemen. This is the no chill MMA figurine. We were in a helicopter and we dropped thousands and thousands of them off, over different locations in Philly, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody was going around picking them up, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, yeah, Sandhagen, his training camp is to do as much drugs as he can. And then the other guy, Marab. Now remember, there's a movie out on Marab. It's called Marab and the Chocolate Factory, and it's
Barab the Takedown Factory.
yeah, that's right. And then it's subtitled, what about Marab? Okay, there's a movie out. Forget the Rock. The Rock is going bald, ladies and gentlemen. Forget that movie. Some
Yeah,
cur guy or something.
yeah. I mean, I think that there's this movie with The Rock acting. He's playing some UFC fighter, right? But like, it's like, how can you pretend to be a UFC fighter when you were a wrestler? It doesn't make sense. But Corey Sandhagen can pretend to be one of the average kind of people that you would find in Kensington. That's why he was on Dawson's Creek, because he has that energy. He has the LSD guy energy. And he spent 12 straight weeks just dropping acid, eating edibles, and staring at things that he thought were moving in the walls. But then he realized that he was just tripping, and he was like, oh, I've got this title fight tomorrow. And then he lost. And, some people think that if he'd actually trained for the fight, he would have won. But we'll never know now, you know?
Well, the way I'm thinking of it, they say that drugs never pay. Well, I
Yeah,
think they paid well because Sandhagen's going to buy a McLaurin off of Giuliani Argenti, ladies and gentlemen, from the paycheck that he got.
yeah, yeah. And then he's going to drive that car while he's under the influence of drugs, which we don't recommend on the Fex show because we've heard that it can be very dangerous. So who have we got here? We've got Woe Black Betty saying, Feckers champ, Westy, what's good? Hello, how are we doing? Yeah, so we're not really sure what happened with. Oh, Western says as well, Sandhurst was one of the most prolific LSD dealers in Kensington. I did not realize that. That's interesting. And I
Well,
suppose
it's well known. I mean,
is that
right now, Right now, No Chill MMA is over there, and he's doing some kind of interview over there, and everybody's saying that Sanhagen is like the kingpin over there, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, right. So
Yeah.
was he synthesizing these drugs himself, or was he just selling them? Because he seems
Well,
like an academic guy.
yeah, I mean, there was going to be a deal between Sanhagen and Dana White, but I think the deal's going to fall through.
Oh,
Sanhagen was saying that he's going to be promoting, instead of doing a training camp where you're working on your cardio and like actually takedowns, like, what about Marab and the takedown factory. So if Sanhagen was going to win, Dana White was going to promote hallucinogenic drugs and
oh,
the number one drug in Kensington, whatever that zombie drug is.
yeah, yeah. I think it's Flacco, and I think Cody Santagan has been using that as well. So um, I still think that even though he was probably intoxicated when he was in the cage, I still think he won one or two rounds in there, which is impressive. I wouldn't have thought that was possible. But well, we've got Western back in here. So we now that we have two people watching at the same time. Okay, I think Vivek is gone because we asked him to answer a question about 25 minutes ago, and he's not answered yet. So Vivek is gone. He's not coming back. But in his place, we have Woe Black Betty and Western Mass Climber. So we officially have a community at this point, I would say.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And you know what else could like just put like a cap on it all, ladies and gentlemen?
What's
If
that?
Sandhagen, all the money that Sandhagen made, doing drugs, ladies and gentlemen, all the money he made, he's buying Giuliani Argentini's, McLaurin, ladies and gentlemen. And then imagine him going around with World Black Betty in the passenger seat. Can you imagine that, ladies and gentlemen? Sam Hagen in Giuliani Argentini's McLaurin with Black Betty and blasting the song Black Betty, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, whoa,
Wow.
Black Betty, bam, lands it. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
remember
then
that
and
song.
then to come to find out that little Black Betty actually has a penis, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Beck here, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. So, do you want to talk about your appearance on the panel this week, or do you want to leave that for a little while?
Well, I mean, the appearance, everybody. I'm not lying to you. People have been asking Simon Beck, 1 foot cock, to go on panels for a long time, right? But I kind of shied away from it. But guess what? Simon Beck. Now I'm not trying to brag like there's a guy named Idaho, and his stupid channel is called Casual Combat. And if you try to look it up, what a stupid he puts something. He makes a title of his channel so difficult. It's such a common words you can't even look it up. So, but anyways, so I go on there. I'm destroying people easily. I mean, easily. I'm like a champion in these panels. So I'm going to start going on, but I'm going to request that you don't just get Simon Beck. You get the champ and you get that guy. That guy, his name is not Ash, ladies and gentlemen. You
That
get our impressionist. That's what we need to start calling him, the impressionist.
the impressionist. I think that's fair, and I'm looking forward to having the impressionist back on the show. And I do see as well. So, Woe Black Betty is saying that he was shocked himself to find that he had a penis when he noticed, and that Idaho had a feckening. Now, I think that that's a very apt way to put it. I saw that Bodak said in the comments during that stream that the Simon Feck show is an experience. It's something that you don't have to understand. You just have to experience it. And we have been banning people who disagreed with us when we said that in the past. Because only those who are pure of mind, pure of heart, are allowed to watch this show. Otherwise, we'll ban you. But please try and be nice because we need to hit 100,000 subscribers, and banning people isn't getting us closer to that.
I know we're almost there, but could
Yeah,
you imagine? Could you imagine being Wool Black Betty and all of a sudden, I mean, you look down, you're like, oh my God, I got a penis, you know, and
yeah.
you didn't even realize that you had a penis. I mean, that would be shocking, ladies and gentlemen.
It would
I
be
mean,
shocking. It was, and I mean, I believe that happened on Tuesday that he noticed this, and he's been just kind of stunned since then. Uh, but Black Betty, we are on your side, and but we will support you as much as we can, but only that's not very much. We'll support you a lot more if you put $100 in the super chat.
you know,
Um,
yeah. And Wool Black Betty, listen, I'm sorry to cut you off, champ. Wool
that's
Black
okay.
Betty, listen, it's not really all that bad. I mean, people call me, Simon Feck 1 foot cock, right?
Mhm,
And to find out you have a penis, I mean, I got a pecker, okay?
mhm.
So, I mean, it hasn't been all that bad. I mean, your
Yeah,
pecker goes wherever you go. I mean, it's not like you lose it or anything. So.
yeah. That's it. It can be a very handy tool to have wherever you go.
Yeah.
Um, and I see Barry Wright has said, "Is he dressed as a bird?" Then Black Betty said, "Plague Doctor." And then Barry Wright has said, "What the fuck am I watching?" And later on, he's asked if we are psychologists. We are better than psychologists, Barry. We are we are the greatest minds that exist in the Feckiverse, which encompasses mixed martial arts journalism and just global affairs journalism as well. Um, Really, what we want you to understand, Barry, is that there was an early stoppage last night. Okay, Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev. You look at the significant strikes, and it was equal. Okay, the UFC planned for Pereira to get the belt back to sell more tickets, but Ankalaev really deserves the trilogy fight because it was a very, very even fight. A lot of people are saying it was one-sided and dominant, but the truth of the matter is that there were two streams, and if you watched the wrong stream, then you saw Alex Pereira being dominant. But if you watched the real stream, then you saw a much more even fight. Um, so now let's see.
Well,
What Betty is saying, sorry.
well, one thing about, Barry,
Mm-hmm,
it's Barrie.
mm-hmm,
I mean, maybe Barry's got a pecker too, but maybe Barry doesn't. I don't know. The spelling there is a little bit tricky. But is Simon Feck dressed up as a bird or something, right?
mm-hmm,
No. And that brings me to the Halloween special, okay? People are saying, Simon Feck, you need to have a Halloween special. Well, I don't think this year I feel like dressing up. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
I would have to like put on a costume. It's you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's in this economy as well. Do you really want to have to put on a costume?
No,
It's
I don't want to go and buy a costume and put it
nah,
on just for the sake of people want Simon Theft to put on a Halloween show. Let the
yeah,
MMA guru dress up like a South African. Let him do a Halloween special. He has the same. He says he's a millionaire. He's had the same costume for 6 years, ladies and gentlemen.
it's, he has a different approach to us on the Simon Feck show because what we like to do on this show consistently is berate our followers into giving us money in the super chat. Now I see Wool Black Betty has said I've got PTDD, post traumatic dick disorder, and we're sorry to hear that, Black Betty, and we hope that you didn't get that from watching this show, but it's understandable if you did. Barry Wright saying, "Are we brothers?" We're not because Simon is a bird and I am a man, so that's biologically not possible. But we have formed a bond that would make us even closer than brothers. Um, Barry's also said Pereira broke his foot and still destroyed him. I don't think so, Barry. I think you need to go back and watch the fight. again, find the right stream, and you'll see that it was a very even fight. The significant strikes were very even. So all we can do is encourage you to look for the correct stream. What War Black Betty saying that he told you that in confidence.
Yeah. So, we've been working with Woe Black Betty for a little while, okay? So Woe Black Betty is a little bit embarrassed, like feeling left out that Nina Drama has her own talking shower head, ladies and gentlemen. So Woe Black Betty's like, well, where's my shower head? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, if we're going to have like a Woe Black Betty shower head, it needs to have like something a little bit more special than the Nina Drama shower head. Okay? So we've been working on this, behind the scenes. It's sort of in confidence, behind the scenes there. But Woe Black Betty's shower head is coming. It's coming to fruition. I mean, we've been battle testing it.
Yeah. And one of the things that we're experimenting with the Woe Black Betty showerhead is flashing lights. Now, this is really going to set it apart from other talking showerheads on the market.
Yeah. So right here, now, Woe Black Betty said that this is just a prototype right here, okay? So Woe Black Betty is saying that the color needs to be different. It's like Nina Drama is known for purple, ladies and gentlemen. So Woe Black Betty is thinking pink, because Woe Black Betty just discovered Woe Black Betty has a penis, right? So anyways, the shower head needs to be pink, Woe Black Betty's saying, And then the flashing lights and everything, like, yo, hey.
Look at that.
This is the Woe Black Betty shower head. And just sit back and relax, and you'll have the best shower head you've ever had in your life. You know why? Because it's the Woe Black Betty shower head, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a truly pioneering piece of technology. People say that they're scared about artificial intelligence, but they should really be much more anxious about the incoming Woe Black Betty talking shower head.
And there's one thing about Woe Black Betty, and people are like, artificial intelligence. Yeah, they're like, yeah. The artificial intelligence, all right.
So, Western is saying that you should do a human costume for Halloween. How do you feel about that?
I mean, wow. I haven't thought of that because, I mean, being born like this, right? It's like a human world, right? You guys don't ever think about the reverse of it. Me being born like this, if the world is basically, ruled by, people like, Western and Woe Black Betty. And why do we keep saying Woe Black Betty? Because Betty with a penis is just, everybody calls Woe Black Betty, Betty. Okay? But the world is ruled by you humans. Why would I want to dress up like everybody else?
Yeah, well, that's a totally understandable position to take. And you want to take a stance on Halloween and make it, and we support you into doing that. Now, Woe Black Betty says rumors of my intelligence are unfounded. Now, you don't need to worry about that because the intelligence that exists as part of the Woe Black Betty talking showerhead is going to allow you to never have to think again in your life. And really, is that not what we all want?
Well, I mean, if you think about what we want, there's a band from the 60s. A band from the 60s wrote a song about Woe Black Betty before Woe Black Betty was even born with a penis. Yeah. And now we've moved on to the Woe Black Betty showerhead. It's the Woe Black showerhead. The Woe Black Betty showerhead is the best in the business, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I mean, Nina Drama used to claim that her showerhead was the best in the business. But Betty Showerhead is the best in the business, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here from Simon Fett, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's only going to get better from here as well. You know, every iteration of them. Eventually, maybe one day we'll make a Western mass claimer talking Showerhead, but only if he puts $100 in the super chat.
Hey, Dennis Securito. This is the World Black Betty Showerhead. And hey, listen, I mean, never mind my penis, okay? You know, now that just me and you are here in the Showerhead, you know. So, hey, Dennis Securito, this is World Black Betty. This is the greatest Showerhead in the business, ladies and gentlemen. Just sit back and relax. You hear me? We haven't worked out all of, the words and everything.
Yeah.
For because people are saying that the Nina drama talking showerhead, it needs like more showerhead, like less talking.
Yeah, that's it, and it's striking that balance as well. You know, obviously, once it's been manufactured up to a certain point, it's hard to go back and change some of the fundamental components of it. Barry Wright is asking if we have autism, and he says, did the beak grow from autism? And then he's asking AI autism. And really, why can't all three of those things be true, Barry? That's what we're asking you. They're not mutually exclusive questions that you're asking there. Western says Feck's been in Betty's shower. Now that's correct, but the only reason Feck was in Betty's shower was to take measurements for the Wobbat Betty talking shower head to make sure that it wasn't too big for the shower. So there was nothing wrong going on. He had a legitimate reason to be in Betty's shower, and that was one of the kind of the most formative moments of this podcast in terms of bringing it to the masses. You know, I would say it was half that and half having no chill MMA on here.
Yeah, and then there's another thing too. Another thing behind the scenes, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you know it, champ, but Giuliani Argentini and his his lover Idaho that I destroyed. Okay, on a panel. Okay, those two have been kissing. I mean, there's videos all over the internet, right?
That's hot.
But the two of them, they're coming out of their closets. And they're coming to the Simon Feck show, and they're asking if they can have, a shower head built, after their name,
Well,
so,
this is all totally possible, and it's good they came to ourselves because this is the Simon Feck show. We are the gayest show in MMA, the gayest podcast in MMA, and you think you can beat us? You think you can be more gay than us?
Well, I think. Idaho and Giuliani Argenti are trying. They're trying to be the gayest thing, in MMA, YouTube world, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
But they just can't do it because we've got it locked down. You know, we have it locked down.
We got Astro Wilson in here. I can't read it. What's it say, champ?
Yeah. Astro Wilson, he says, or she says, Giri is the best. Go for that. I'm not sure. I still think that was a lopsided decision in favour of Giri, and I would have given Khalil Roundtree the nod, a split decision. War Black Betty says the original showerhead design has a massive following. We don't want to ostracize those people by removing some of the lights. It's true. It's very. Let me tell you something, War Black Betty. The design of a talking showerhead is it's an emotional minefield, and trying not to step on people's toes. Because Shakira is a toe stepper, sorry, and so we have to navigate all of these feelings and the feedback and make sure that the showerhead is as best as it can possibly be to serve our community. I see Barry Wright saying, could you imagine listening to a talking bird and your wife walks in? And yeah, I mean, look, we are the greatest podcast in the MMA sphere right now, and we keep telling you people this, and you don't listen to it. And I don't know what it's going to take. Barry also says that we definitely have it locked down. He's referring to us being the gayest show in MMA. And we appreciate that, Barry, but it's something that we can't become complacent about. We have to continue working
Yeah, but
to.
okay, so Barry, let me ask Barry a question.
Mhm.
Barry, this is the MMA community. How many guys, like percentage wise, how many guys have wives in the MMA community? Okay, it's like it's a. I mean, Dana White's trying to sexualize, two guys grappling. Yeah, that's why he brought Nina Drama in. Okay, you got to get rid of the straight stuff. When you see two clams grappling, but no, they're trying to get you like last night. Last night, most of the guys watching, they're like, when they see a guy on guy grappling, that's hot. You
Yeah.
tell me, you tell me how many guys in the MMA community actually have a wife, and how
Yeah.
many guys actually have a wife that watch MMA fights, and then the next day they're watching people talking about fights. How many of those people have wives? I mean,
Mhm.
it just keeps getting smaller and smaller.
Mhm.
You're bringing up like a foreign subject. Nobody has a wife around here, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm. 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 Or a bird. Um, Barry also says, "Are we reading a dictionary randomly?" Yeah, we like to do that. We before every show we pick some words and we say these are the words that we are going to incorporate into the things that we say in order to enhance our vocabulary. Because this show is not just about giving you the best possible free entertainment that you could imagine. It's also about improving ourselves and our employability skills. And when employers see this, when prospective employers look at this video, I link to the show on my CV and they say, this is a guy that I want to be in close contact with on a regular basis. And part of that is his use of fancy words. Um, Monkey Muay Thai says, what does open panel mean? Well, it can mean a lot of different things. But when you're talking about the gayest show in MMA, it really means that it's a sexual thing, and I won't get too into it.
Right,
Uh,
right there. You see it
mhm,
right there. An open panel means you can come on and we'll listen. And we'll
mhm,
listen to
mhm,
you. Okay?
mhm.
Right there. Somebody click the link. Who's brave
Yeah,
enough to come on the channel
yeah.
right here?
Someone come on the show.
Yeah. What do we got? Serial killer here?
Yeah, he's a. Is he a serial killer? No one on this show is a serial killer, but we are the gayest show in MMA, and this is what we just want you to understand, and we're going to keep repeating it until you're convinced. Monkey Muay Thai. Um, Now, that's not the kind of loving attitude that we like here on the Simon Feck show, Monkey Muay Thai. We encourage people and we are about um, love, kindness, and friendliness and bringing out the best in each other, which is why, we are at this point in our lives doing this particular MMA show because this is the high point of my life. Um, so Barry asking, or if you're married to a parrot, also asking if this is a cult. Monkey Muay Thai is asking, is the link safe? Yeah, the link is definitely safe. Uh, Click on it, go to StreamYard, and come
Yeah.
on the show.
Yeah. So it's StreamYard, okay?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
StreamYard, it's gonna want your I don't know, like email address. We don't get the email address here. Go ahead, look around, type it in, see if StreamYard, the host can see your email. We can't see it. Don't be a pussy. Come on the show. And then you don't even have to show yourself, right? You just
yeah,
don't turn the camera on, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, yeah. That's right. You just all we want to do is engage you in some of this
I mean,
conversation.
And you're asking if the link is safe. Look, I mean, a guy from Scotland's on here and a guy in a bird mask. I mean,
Yeah,
it's safe.
yeah,
It's safe.
yeah. In Scotland, we only do very safe things. So, is this a cult? Now, we're not a cult, okay? We've never been a cult, and we do ask that you give us as much money as possible and subscribe to our belief that we are the gayest show in MMA. But that doesn't make us a cult, okay? You are free to believe in whatever you like.
Look at this. Our leader mod, the guy with a wrench, right here, Western, saying that the link is dangerous.
Now,
Now that's the way
Western,
to promote. That's the way to promote the show right there, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, the lead moderator
I mean,
sabotaging the show.
if this show can't step on its foot enough, ladies and gentlemen, if you click, will you turn into a bird? Oh God, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show has the smartest chat on the planet, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you wish you would turn into a bird.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see it. Musical MMA and Simon Feck have a video out, ladies and gentlemen. And Simon Feck is like some kind of god, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want that, then just don't click on the link.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it looks like no one is going to click on the link because they're scared of it, and that's fine. But
I mean,
you're,
you know, Betty recently discovered that Betty has a penis.
mm-hmm.
Use that penis. Come on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Well, none of these people are going to click the link. I think it's safe to say. And,
Look at right here. Monkey Muay Thai says, thanks, Western, for warning. What was it saying?
I
nearly clicked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now that's a moderator. That's what a moderator does right there, ladies and gentlemen. He tries to keep your channel, like we're almost 100,000 subs. We're like real close to it. He doesn't want us to get the push button, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, correct. And it's unfortunate that we have these differing opinions when your lead moderator is warning people not to click links that you're putting in the chat. But that's just that's Western's how do you say it, prerogative, and we respect that. We do.
Listen, Barry Wright. Okay, how can you send $15,000 to the Simon Feck show? Okay, well look, Simon Feck got doxxed last week. That's right, my address is out there. Get in your car, drive to Simon Feck's house, and slip an envelope underneath the door. You got to climb up the tree because I'm in a birdhouse, okay? But just slip the money underneath the door. That's what you do.
Yeah, we want super chat donations in cash in an envelope because then they're tax free.
That's right. None of this YouTube pussy shit.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to Rumble soon anyway, so then we'll have to rely on cash and envelopes. So
look at Western here. Western's taking credit for warning. I mean, we couldn't hire better people. Our producer goes to bed 1 hour before the show, and then our moderator in here that's trying to keep the chat safe, from helping the other chat members out and keeping them safe. But no, Western goes in there and tells them that the link is dangerous. Yeah, you click the link. It's like a mousetrap, ladies and gentlemen. That's how Simon Feck became 1 foot cock, right? I stuck my foot on a fucking loaded fucking mousetrap, ladies and gentlemen, and took my foot right off. That's why Simon Feck is 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. And Western wasn't there. Western wasn't there to save Simon Feck. But he's in here, he's saving people in the chat about a dangerous link. Western, don't care. Why do you care about the people in the chat? We don't care about the people in the chat. Who cares if the link is dangerous? I don't care that the link is dangerous. You know what's dangerous? Is being in the cage with a twink. And I'm taking up the Sewer King. All right, Simon Beck versus the Sewer King. I'm going to be stepping in there with the Sewer King. That is dangerous. Clicking on a link is not dangerous. All you do, you go to the place and they fix your computer or your phone.
Yeah.
Or you call your bank and you say, hey, look, somebody took $18,000 out of my bank account. Okay? That ain't scary. Try going up against the Sewer King in an octagon.
Yeah, yeah. He's very slinky, the Sewer King. He's a twink, but he slinks because he covers himself in Vaseline during the fight, which is not allowed. Only during weight cuts are you allowed to use Vaseline.
Hey, champ! I go on a rant and I see we lost 5 people.
How many
Hey,
people are watching
I
right
mean,
now?
yeah, we lost people on that one. So, but I'm gonna say, you know what? This is how we do it, right? Because we don't want to become big, right? So we just scare people. We scare people. Hey, look, you know what? If you're actually watching this show, you're going to turn into a bird, and then you're going to start robbing banks and everything. Oh, it's dangerous. Don't click on the link.
Yeah, it's
Next thing you know, Simon Beck will be making a shower head about you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, all those viewers that left, they could have had the shower heads, but they didn't want it. So let's have a look at the participants now. We've still got, I would say, we've still got the core audience in here. We've got Barry Wright, Monkey Muay Thai, War Black Betty, Western Mass Climber, and I think we can forgive Western for sabotaging our attempts to get someone on the show, because we know that his heart was in the right place.
Yeah. I mean, Western's only doing his job.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how many people that have died from clicking a link. I mean, so what? You get all your money taken out of your bank account. You ain't got nothing but $6 in it. It's unbelievable. Is it safe?
Barry
Wright. What is this? What's this?
Opinion on the early stoppage for the UFC 320 main event. Yeah, it was an early stoppage. It was, the significant strikes were very even. Ankalaev should have been allowed to continue so that he could win that fight, because he was going to win a decision if that fight had been allowed to finish, and he would still be the champion. But Dana White didn't want that. Dana White wanted Alex Pereira to be the champion again. So that's the way it goes in the UFC. It's very corrupt, but the significant strikes, very even. War Black Betty, they can't handle the truth. You're right. The people who left, they cannot handle the truth. The rants, we are unfiltered on the show. We are uncensored. We can literally say anything we want, and we will keep our core audience here. Barry Wright saying that he got, or she got, autism from watching this, and that's one of the side effects of watching the gayest show in MMA. War Black Betty is talking about the pulsating shower head. There's lots of great innovations coming our way with the different varieties of shower heads that are coming out.
Yeah. So sorry to cut you off, champ.
No.
Yeah. So the Nina Drama talking shower head, again, this is just a prototype right here.
Mm-hmm.
But Nina Drama said that 9-volt battery is not enough when you're talking about vibrating. Okay. So she wants 9D batteries. It's going to be this big, long, round, thick, tubular thing with 9D batteries in it.
Wow.
She said she just can't. She's like, if people are going to buy my shower head, I want people to be satisfied. So she went ahead and tested it out, and she wasn't satisfied. So we have to modify it.
That's something we are always open to. We are always open to constructive criticism to allow us to design the best product possible. Now Western is changing his tune. Now he's saying that everyone should click the link and that there's candy on the other side.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, we have the best mod in the business,
Yeah,
ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen.
yeah.
I mean, who else? Nobody else can handle Western as their mod. You know why? Because
Yeah.
he's the best in the business, ladies and
Best in the
gentlemen.
business. That's why we've got
You
him.
you could have started out with the candy first, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen. You know?
yeah. And we had to poach Western from another very successful MMA show, which will remain unnamed, because we said we want the guy who's going to come into the chat and basically do the complete opposite of the things that we ask him to do, and he's done that relatively consistently. Um, there's also Barry Wright saying, "My brother just died. She clicked on the link. Condolences." That's what will happen when you click the link. But that's StreamYard, when you click it, there's no telling what will happen. Monkey Muay Thai is there saying, I agree, think it was scripted. Reason why Herb Dean was reffing, he's shady. Yep, definitely scripted. And if anything, there should be a trilogy fight or maybe a fourth fight. We need to see that run back as soon as possible because Alex Pereira, he did very little in that fight to win the championship, in my opinion. War Black Betty saying having a small nuclear reactor would add a heating element as well, yeah, as a power source for the shorehead. We have looked into that, into incorporating a kind of self-contained nuclear reactor, kind of like the Soviets. I think they had it on some submarines and even in some airplanes back during the Cold War. We want to put kind of like a self-sufficient nuclear power source in the War Black Betty talking showerhead so that you can get all the kind of artificial intelligence goodness that you crave even when you're in the shower. And we innovate here at SpaceFX, and you're right about that. We are probably the most innovative podcast in the history of the internet.
That's
And
right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's no secret, right? So the Simon Feck Show, we've teamed up with Richard Bronson, okay, Mr. Space himself, right? Dana White, and the UFC. After after UFC White House, there's going to be UFC Kensington. Now they've scratched UFC White House, so it's going to be UFC Kensington, and then after that, UFC Moon, ladies and gentlemen.
yep, yep,
That's Space Fex, ladies and gentlemen.
mhm, yep. It's the really the only limit is space travel and where we're able to kind of shuttle fighters to, because once you put fighters on a different planet, they're no longer entitled to the same benefits. So you won't even need to get rid of the Muhammad Ali Act. Monkey Muay Thai saying yes, trilogy next, or Alex versus Alberg. I think Alberg KOs him. It's possible. But really, what we're trying to focus on is the UFC Kensington main event, which will be Chase Hooper versus Alexander Hernandez. Kainoto's in the chat. Kainoto's back. Said
Ladies and gentlemen, Kanato, ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen.
Alex did the UFC a favor. Ike is as dry a champion as Nina is around her boyfriend. Okay, so the the thing is, Alex did the UFC a favor, but the UFC did Alex a favor too because last night's fight was very even. I think that Magomed Ankalaev should have won that fight, and really that's all there is to it. The UFC is a very corrupt organization. Monkey Muay Thai asking, is there three hosts now? Well, there is, but one of the hosts is currently fast asleep in his bed, and we look forward to him coming back. We call him the Impressionist, and we are very excited for his return. Or if one of you wants to click the link in the chat, you can come on and participate in the show. War Black Betty saying big announcements coming soon next February.
February?
Yeah, we like that. We'll like that. We're going to copyright that. Barry Wright saying, your pupils are dilated. Are you okay? I was snorting crystal meth before the show, so that's why that happened, Barry. Kainoto, yep, sadly, Carlos is a bad matchup for Chama. Carlos may KO him. Western Mass Climber. I heard taxes on the moon are sky high. Very good, very good. And Barry Wright saying that his granddad just died, clicking on the link. So, now, let's see. Now, this is your final opportunity to click the link and come on here, because we have delivered you one of the most incredible shows in mixed martial arts history. Every single show that we bring to you is immediately a classic that can be replayed infinitely, and we encourage you to download it and put it on your iPod or your CD Walkman or whatever it is that you use when you're out and about, to listen to the wisdom that we have, because there's layers to everything we're saying. You really need to listen to every episode 10, 20, 30 times to even start to scratch the surface of it. Simon, any thoughts?
No, I have plenty of thoughts.
Yeah.
I am so happy. I'm so happy we have like the best chat in the MMA community here. You know, we have the best producer. I mean, he's sleeping right now. We won't
Yeah,
get we won't get in trouble at all. We can say anything, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then we have the best mod in the business. You know, we have the best of friends, right? So
Yeah,
musical MMA was going to come on the show last week, and then he did us a favor to put it off, you know, so you people would return. Then he was going to be on this week, you know, musical MMA, and then he did us a favor. He put it off till next week, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to have next week. We're going to have musical MMA on again, but it'll still be his virgin appearance. Okay,
yeah.
so when he comes on, we're going to do that. It's going to be the greatest. I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm being serious as Simon Feck, 1 foot caught. It's going to be next week is going to be the greatest live stream of MMA YouTube history, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And then after that, Simon Feck has been waiting to do what's called a mock musical MMA live stream. Okay, we got the character right here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on a second. I don't know. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it now. That's incredible handiwork.
That's right. That's the musical MMA character right there. And then after he comes on the show, we're also going to do a mock live stream of musical MMA. So, anyways, you know, I feel very fortunate to have everybody around us that we have around us. But the number one person is Western. I'm so glad that we have Western here, ladies and gentlemen.
He really did a lot today, and we appreciate Western going out of his way.
Yeah, I mean, we thrive. Yeah, we thrive on damage control. We love damage control. You know.
Yeah. And
we like to dig. We like to dig a big pit and try to see if we can crawl out of it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. That's what the show is, you know. And we've already told people there will be no actual news until we hit 100,000 subscribers, and we're very close. But a lot of other MMA outlets have been scraping the content. So
yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, the Simon Feck Show does breaking news before it even happens, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But the people have been scraping it. They've been scraping the MMA rumor mill from the Simon Feck Show, and we get it before it even happens, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah, we've set the bar very high, and it's up to everyone else to catch up at this point.
What's Canado say there, buddy?
Saying he's talking about the CD Walkman, and he says that that's retro style, ladies and gentlemen. The thing is that the CD Walkman is actually the most private way to listen to the Simon Feck show. So make sure you download every episode and burn it to a disc.
But but ladies and gentlemen, we gotta have Western warn you about the Walkman. Okay. Go ahead, Western, warn them about the Walkman. Why don't you?
Yeah. And Kainoto saying the Simon Feck show, baby. And he's very excited to be here. It's good to see you, Kainoto.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Kanato, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Kanato's in the Simon Feck show, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to shake Kanato up, and we're going to have Kanato go around warning people about how dangerous it is, to watch the Simon Feck show, ladies and gentlemen. You know where it's safe? You know where it's safe? Is over there on Casual Combat on Idaho's show, where him and Giuliani go around kissing each other on the lips, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Two grown men kissing each other on the lips. I mean, Giuliani Argentini takes his McLaurin, right? And then Idaho drives his 1983 truck that he installs windows and doors with, and then they meet up in the middle, like in the middle of the country, ladies and gentlemen. They meet up in Arkansas, ladies and gentlemen, and then they get out, and then they walk, both of them get out of their cars or vehicles, and then they walk up and they kiss each other. It's so romantic. That's where it's safe. That's where it's safe. That's where you guys need to go over there where it's safe.
Yeah, but even though they do that, this is still the gayest show in MMA. And that's just kind of always correct.
Renato says the Simon Feck show, ladies and gentlemen.
Barry Wright says, do you know P. Diddy? No. We'll move past that comment, I think. Right, okay. So we're getting some fantastic input here from the audience. Western Mass Climber saying, let's be more like Darren Elkins and embody the damage. This is my legal advice. This is what makes you the best mod in the business, Western. And
I mean, people are trying to steal Western from the Simon Feck show, ladies and gentlemen. Did you see him do his job? He saved at least like 3 people from clicking the link, which is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, good thing everybody's safe here on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You need to look at Roundtree's face and see what safe is and what isn't safe.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Now we are coming up to an hour and a half.
I see that.
Yeah. It's and it's been an incredible show today with unprecedented engagement from some new fans and old fans.
Yeah.
Everyone from Kainoto to Western Mass Climber and Vivek and Barry Wright, Woe Black Betty.
Are those O.J. Simpson gloves, ladies and gentlemen? Now, see these gloves? They fit, ladies and gentlemen. But if I was to put them on a different way, and just make it look like I'm struggling and everything, they still wouldn't be O.J. Simpson's gloves. You know why? Because they're Simon Feck's gloves. Yeah, okay, so I'm glad that everybody showed up. And I'm telling you right now, we're at like 1 hour and 29 minutes and 7 seconds into this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. But Western's going to put up a warning that if this goes over an hour and a half, it's going to become dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean dangerous. So I'm telling everybody right now that next week Next week is going to be the greatest, and I'm not lying to you. Next week is going to be the greatest MMA live stream show that you have ever, I mean ever, seen in your life, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have musical MMA coming on the show, ladies and gentlemen. And here's what the MMA musical guy is going to say. He's going to start out and he's going to say this.